Alright guys, here it is. This is my video on how this stuff is done. Alright, so right here I got a ride. It's pretty much kind of a replica. It's not pretty much a replica, but it's kind of a replica for the most part. Not exactly, of the ride Kumba that is in Busch Gardens, Tampa, Florida. That one is a Bolliger & Mabillard Twister, which means it's a sit-down coaster. This one is the Bolliger & Mabillard stand-up Twister, quote unquote. But so what I've done here is the first portion of this coaster, from the drop hill down to the Cobra Roll. So from here all the way through all this up to this Cobra Roll, I have smoothed. All right. What this does is it gives you an idea of what it looks, what the finished product looks like. So real quick, I'm gonna ride this one that's going up the lift hill. Hopefully, we'll see. Yes, sweet. And you'll see the first half of this coaster. And then once it gets through the Cobra Roll, you'll see what it does without the smoothing. Right, no smoothing past this point. Alright, so you see how rough and crazy that is, right? So what I'm about to do is I'm about to show you how we smooth all that out. So the reason it's that rough is because we use 4 meter, or it's like 36, 34, 32 to 36 point some feet track for each of those sections, which is the shortest piece of track that you can use. For the thing, the video that they teach you how to do this, they say 4 meter, but that's because a lot of those people are like British and stuff, are from the UK. I use obviously the non-metric system. I understand it a little bit better. I do know the conversion, but it's just easier from a visual standpoint to use the American Imperial system. So yeah, so this is how smooth all that was. So this is what I do, right? First we go over here to edit track. Yep, take me over there. Scroll back over here. So we're going to start from where it stops smoothing. So we'll click here. I believe, yeah, that highlights that. So we got one piece of track. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 more to that. 1, 2, 3. We're going to click smooth all. Move 1 space, smooth all. Move 1 space, smooth all. Smooth all. Move 1 space, smooth all. Move 1 space, smooth all. And move 1 space, smooth all. Now we're gonna go back. Move 1 space, smooth all. Move 1 space, smooth all. Now we're gonna do this on this section of track for a total of 4 times each way. And then I'll show you what a difference it makes. Wait for the train to go by here. For this section real quick, I'm going to smooth this drop down. There we go, so it's more curved. this. That way we get a good curvature right here so it doesn't flatten out too much. And I did this section because it's literally the shortest section that I could do this in. So it didn't take up like, you know, I ended up making like a hour-long video of how to do this. I wanted to give you guys a quick example of what this does. This is my second pass. Either way. This will be my third. Zoom out a little bit. And a lot of YouTubers will like when they talk about this kind of stuff, they'll speed it up. Unfortunately, I don't think I have that cool software to do that kind of stuff. If you guys know some software I can get for free to do that, I'll check it out. Unfortunately, I'm not that computer savvy anymore like I used to be when I was your guys' age, maybe a little bit older. And so I don't know of all that stuff now. I could probably Google some free video editing software somewhere. This is 3, right? Yeah, I believe this should be 3. We got one more pass either way after this one, and then we'll do a quick ride through again so you guys can see how much of a difference it makes and how much more realistic it looks. For the banking, I forgot to say, so for the banking they usually say a 1 meter offset, which is just over 3 feet. So what I do is, since I use the American Imperial system, I do 4 feet. So it's slightly more exaggerated, but not to the point of, you know, unrealistic, if you will. And as you can see, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but if you watch the test ratings, as I smooth this, the excitement rating actually improves, the nausea rating goes down. Alright, so that's 4 times either way. So let's jump on this bad boy and see what happens. Oops, I hit the wrong thing, excuse me. We want to click camera. We're on seat 2. Look at how smooth that is now. That was beautiful. Oh my goodness. I will actually start smoothing this section real quick for the rest of the video, just to give you a better idea. I mean, I know that kind of gave you a good idea, but not really. This is kind of fun showing you guys how this works. So we'll click edit track again. And drag this over there. So we will select this first piece of track. That gives us one piece. 2, 3, 4. Smooth all. Move a piece. That's also because I do it this way. That's why you see a support post every single piece. Technically, it's not supposed to be like that. Usually, you have a support post every so many feet or whatever. But because of this method, you'll see a support piece every piece, and then what happens is I have to go back through, and there's an option which I'll show you in just a second, which allows you to add or take away support pieces and or catwalks. Zoom out a little bit here. It zooms in every piece you move. Oh, and that's why I try and avoid doing that when the train's going through, because it destroys it. And then it messes up the whole test process. I wasn't paying too much attention there, unfortunately. What we'll do is we'll go to the end of the 2 corkscrews on this. That shouldn't take me too long to do, at least once or twice each way. That way you guys can get an idea. I think you guys already have a good idea, but I'd like to show you some more. Just because this is the most time consuming part, and maybe if you guys end up with this game or get to play it or whatever, you kind of maybe get to see the best way to do things. I know you guys don't get the most amount of time on the computer, or you won't get enough, you know what I mean. Like, you might not get the amount of time to do all this, or you'll have to do it in several playtimes or whatever, which is, it's fine. But you just kind of see how much effort gets put into like making roller coasters really realistic on this game. On this, I really don't need to go through all these straight pieces, honestly. Here, when it starts to slope, we'll go back a couple. Go through here so it gets a good slope through this. And then we'll head back the other way right after we get through this. Because technically you're supposed to go all the way through, but I cheated a little earlier on this ride, and I'm going to cheat a little on this point, just to kind of get the point across to you guys. This one's going to be right here in this section. I'll start heading back here in a second. We're starting going back to the road. We're heading back. Now, after I do this, we will ride it just so you can see what it's like after one pass. And then you can kind of imagine what it's like after 4 passes. Like I showed you the rest of the ride, that it has 4 passes of doing this mundane, crazy nonsense here. But you'll see how much even just one pass really... Whoops, I jumped 2 there. I gotta go back 1. You'll see how just one pass of this very tedious, mundane task makes the ride so much smoother, and it makes it really realistic. Like the ride would really be with the heart lining, if you will, the center of gravity changing. Kind of bounce ahead here. Oops. Go back to right where the banking ends and or begins, if you will. Oh, I did it. I screwed the pooch on that one. I destroyed the train. It's alright. I was trying to get it in before the train got there, but I couldn't do it. I failed. Now this direction change right here that I'm out. So you really want to space out one maneuver from the next, right? So I tried to space this out by like 1 or 2 pieces before I started banking the other direction. I don't know how it's going to play out. I might need to space it out a little bit more to get it to, you know, bank correctly. But we'll see how it runs. It's still something I'm playing with, is you have to be very careful on how close you make your maneuvers. If you make them too close, no matter how much you smooth it, it's still going to be jerky and it's still going to look kind of silly. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. These corkscrews, now there are pre-made corkscrews, like for instance the loop on this ride is pre-made. And the Cobra roll is pre-made, which is why that Cobra roll was a point of contention, or a point where I stopped, where I didn't have to smooth it. There are pre-made corkscrews. I, however, custom made these corkscrews, so we'll see how they turn out after, you know, one smooth pass. And what I'll do also is I'll finish smoothing the rest of this ride outside of this video. And I'll make a final video of what this ride looks like totally smooth. That way you guys get a good idea of, you know, what this does. And you'll see too, so this is me using the corrected way of heart lining. The next video which I show you, which is going to be the Blue Dragon, you will see the old method of heart lining that I used and how much more exaggerated it looks and kind of more unrealistic, and you'll be able to spot it. You'll be like, okay, that like swings out more than it really should. And I'll show you what I talk about, what I'm talking about when I make that video. But so we smooth this one time, right? So we'll exit out all that, click it, we're in a camera mode, and here we go. Now look at it, what it looks like after one smoothing pass. Either way, we still got 3 more both ways to do. And hopefully there's a way for me to edit this so I can speed it up at certain parts. If not, you're gonna end up with a 20-minute video. I'm sorry. Go. See, one pass is not too bad. You can still see the jerkiness in it. It's still kind of all over the place. Definitely still needs some work, but it's better. And then here's completely not done anything with. People puking everywhere. Stuff's going crazy. Look at that. Huge jerk there. But alright guys, I'll make that the end of this video. Hope you kind of enjoyed what this looks like. Really enjoyed making these. So, till next time, fellas.